And charts. So this is task 4, presentation. You're going to create a short presentation. All slides must have a consistent layout and formatting. Create a presentation of 7 slides using that file there. Unless otherwise instructed, the slides must display a title and a bulleted list. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do, but let's just read ahead to see if there's anything else that we need to be aware of. Use a master slide to display only the following features. Okay, so we're going to be doing a master slide. There's nothing else that we need to keep in mind with regard to importing the RTF file. So let's get started with that. Okay, here's my folder with all my files. Of course, in this folder, I've also got the files from the previous tutorials for tasks 1 through to 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to right click in here, new Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. I don't need to give this a name, but I'm just going to give this, I don't know, PP for PowerPoint. Oh, sorry. Let's just click on that. PP PowerPoint. I'm just going to give my initials and 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for the sake of getting used to adding appropriate file names. So here's my blank PowerPoint presentation. Notice there are no slides here, no blank slides. We don't want any blank slides. If there are, we're going to have to delete them afterwards anyway. From the home ribbon, we're going to go to new slide. We're going to go to slides from outline. And we're going to go to find essentially the files. There we go. There's the folder where I've got everything inside. And we want this one here, N2502 guide. We're going to just press enter there. And I should have 7 slides. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as it said, all of them are with a title and a bulleted list. Okay. Fine, we're just going to click on save. Use a master slide to display only the following features. Your name, center number, and candidate number in the top left corner. 3 to 4 point wide lines about 2 centimeters from the top and right edge of the slide, as shown in the diagram. Automated slide numbers in the top right positioned in the box created by the lines. Your master slide should look like this. And then if we go down, make sure that master items appear in the same position on every slide. No items overlap on any slide. So let's go do that now. So we can see we're going to have 2 lines, 2 centimeters from the top, 2 centimeters for the right. We're going to have our details in the top left and the page number in the top right corner. So from here, we're going to go to View. And from here, we're going to go to Slide Master. Now, I have a PowerPoint presentation which covers the majority of all the things that you have to know. And I go into more detail about each component, like slide masters. So it's really good if you go and watch that tutorial if you're not too clued up with master slides. But essentially, when you go to the slide master, you can see this one down here is selected. We need to scroll all the way to the top to go to that very, very first slide. That's the master slide, which will affect all of the other slides, all the other layouts. Okay, so this is the one that we want to work on. Secondly, I want to place a line which is 2 centimeters from the top, and I can see that this element here it's going to basically cause issues. It's going to cross over that line. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on this one, move this down a little bit, take this, move that down. That'll just give me enough space. And that way I won't have different elements overlapping each other. Okay, so the next step that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Insert. We're going to go to Shapes, and I'm going to choose my line. Now from here, we can see on the ruler on the left, we can go down about 2 centimeters. We can modify it later, but around about here is where I'm going to draw my line. So where am I? Insert Shape. Let's just draw the line. And from here, I'm going to just draw a line over here. Straight line, let go. And then I can just make sure so that's about 1 centimeter. That's 2 centimeters. I can probably move that up just a little bit. They're not going to put the ruler to this. So it is going to be, you know, slightly average. And then I can just draw another line very quickly. Insert Shape, another line. Just draw another line going down around about 2 centimeters there. Make sure it's straight. You can always use the Shift button. If I hold the Shift button down, that will let me move 45 degrees. Can you see? It's going downwards. Then that's 45 degrees and then horizontal. So this will make sure you get a nice straight line. Let go. And there are my 2 lines. Now, I didn't make the size of the line, so I'm just going to double click on this first line so I can see the shape format here. Go to outline, go to the weight, and choose something between 3 and 4. So I'm going to choose 3 points, and I'm going to do the same with that line there. Shape, outline, weight, 3 points. Now I'm just going to make this element there just a little bit smaller so it's not overlapping my lines. Make sure everything there is nice and neat. Okay, next I want my details in the top left corner. So I'm going to go to Insert. We're going to put text box. We're going to draw a text box in the top left area and type our details. There we go. Let's just stretch that out so it's on one line and just move that up so it's in the top left corner there. Now, finally, in the top right, inside the box that's created, over here, we want to add the page number. So again, we're going to go to Insert. We're going to draw a text box. And in that text box, if we go to Insert, we have here the slide number. So we're just going to click on slide number, and then we can move that box so it's nicely fitting in the middle there. It doesn't say anything about the size. It doesn't say anything about the format, so that's absolutely fine. So that now should work. If I go back to my normal view normal, we can see that all the components have been added in the right place, same place on every slide. And because I moved that heading down a little bit and my bullet point area down a bit, you can see that fits in there nicely. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to do save. And we're going to jump over to the question paper. Number 25, hide the slide with the title, Good Sources of Carbohydrates. Okay, they haven't asked for this before. Okay, so this is new. There's only 1 mark, and it's really easy to do. We'll do that now. Placing your evidence document and screenshot showing the slide has been hidden. Okay, so we go over here, and you can see in my view, what the view I'm actually using is the normal view where I get my slides as thumbnails on the left. So if I right click on this slide here, number 6, which is the one in question, let's just click on it to open it, this one here. If I right click on it, I've got the option to hide. And that's it. That's simply how we hide the slide. And can you see this number here, 6, it's got a stroke through it. That basically means that slide is hidden. So when you, let's say if I was to run this slideshow, let's just do a Control S, run the slideshow from the beginning. So that's slide 1. We can see the slide number at the top up there. That's number 1. I've actually got my automated text subtitles being generated in Greek. So anyway, we could just leave that there. If I go to the next slide, that's number 2. That's number 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is not there. Can you see it's hidden? It went straight to slide number 7. That's what hidden does. Okay, so I forgot that I had my automated subtitles there, but that's fine. You don't need that. You won't have that at all. So I'm just going to press escape. There we go. So that's what hiding the slide does. And you can see it's slightly washed out as well. From here, to take a good screenshot, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the control button on my keyboard down. And while I'm in this area here, I'm just going to zoom out a bit by moving the wheel on my mouse. Okay, so as I've got the control button pressed and I move the wheel backwards and forwards, you can see I'm zooming in and out. And I'm just going to zoom while my mouse is on this area, not the slide. If I'm on the slide, it zooms the slide in and out. If I'm in, my mouse is in this area, I zoom those thumbnails in and out. So I just want to show all of those thumbnails. I'm going to click on slide number 6 so that they can see this is the one that I've selected and they can see that slash through the 6. So now I'm just going to take a screenshot and I don't need to show all of this. I'm just going to take that just like that. And what they're looking for is that part there. Okay, so I'm going to go put that in my evidence document, which currently is closed. So I'm just going to go open that up now. So here's the evidence from the previous task for this paper. I'm going to go to the very end. This is number 25. So I'm just going to move that down and let's just zoom up a little bit there. Add some space in here. Okay, because they've actually got it overwriting the lines. That doesn't have to be so big. That's good enough. But what has to be clearly visible is that 6 with the stroke going through it. Okay. And it's good to show that you've imported all 7 slides and you've got that 6 there. Now, sometimes if your thumbnails are big enough and that data here is readable, sometimes if you forget to actually print the slides they tell you and they want to see some information on, let's say, the chart you've made, they will actually mark it if they can see it from here. Okay. But it's best to do the correct printouts. Okay, Control S. We've done number 25. We'll go to 26. Use the data in the file N2502 ratios to create a pie chart that displays the relative amount of macronutrients needed only for endurance training. Okay, so that basically means I'm going to open a CSV file, and that should be this one here, N2502 ratios. I'm going to double click on that to open it. Let's just have a look at this. So here's the table. Now, guys, yep, I do have a tutorial on charts. I have a complete tutorial on creating charts. The full shebang, anything you need to know about charts, especially for this course, it's in that tutorial. Again, link in the description. So I want to create a pie chart, essentially what's going to show the macronutrients that we've got here. There's macronutrient there, and only for endurance training. Okay, so let's just analyze this. Here we've got the headings, macronutrient. So we've got protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Then we've got the total. Well, the total is going to be 1 because it should add up. The number of protein, carbohydrate, and fat, when you add them up, it's going to be 100%. So I don't think we need that one in our table. And so we want to do 1 on these 3 here and those there. Now, the trick always when we're creating a chart is we get rid of the top left corner. Again, there's a reasoning and explanation for this in the tutorial on charts. So no matter what chart you want to do, you want to get rid of that top left corner. This is just the easiest way. Now, I just want to see whether I need this total. I don't think I do. So I'm just going to jump over the question paper. So let's just read ahead. So we're going to create the chart, label the chart with that title, format the chart to display only the macronutrient names and percentages as sector labels, position all sector labels outside each chart sector, do not display a legend, enhance the category with largest percentage by pulling only this sector away from the other categories. Now that makes sense. Place the chart to, so that's what we need to do for the chart. And this line here is basically what's giving me the clue as to what I need to select. So the one which gives the highest percentage of macronutrients, protein, that slice we need to pull away from the pie chart. So that stands to reason that we're not going to include the total, because then the total is going to be the biggest piece. Let me show you what I mean. So if I select this, hold the control button and select this as well. Notice I'm selecting that blank area there as well. That makes sure that it sees these as categories. If I now go and do insert pie chart, let's just do a quick one. Can you see the largest piece here is the total? And that doesn't make sense really, does it? That really doesn't make sense. Why would you want the total of each one? Because it's 1. It's that, and that added together. The blue, the orange, and the green added together is 1. So that doesn't make sense. We're going to get rid of that one. So I'm just going to select that and that. Great. And then I'm just going to go to insert pie chart, select it. That now looks normal. Let's see what it said. So we've created the pie chart with the macronutrients needed for endurance training only. We need to label our chart with macronutrient ratio endurance training. Now I've copied that. So I'm just going to select that, delete it, and press Control V. So that's my title up there. Format the chart to display only the macronutrient names and percentages as sector labels. So these slices here, these are known as sectors. And I want to apply labels to these sectors to show the percentage and the labels. So from here, I'm going to click on the plus sign next to my chart. I'm going to add data labels, click on the arrow, and I'm going to go to more options. Now, can you see it's only added this one because I accidentally only selected that one. So I'm just going to undo. Again, I'm going to click away so nothing is selected. Just click on the white chart area, plus sign, data labels. That's adding to all three. We can see those numbers there now. We're going to go to data labels and do more options. That's going to open up this properties area here. And what you want to do is to click on this chart area here, and it gives you the label options right there. I want to get rid of the value. I want to add the percentage and the category name. Good. And there they are. And it said they should be placed outside of the sector. So down here, label position, I want them on the outside end. There we go. Now, I've also got the leader lines as well. And that means if I pull this away, it's going to put a little line linking that. It didn't ask for this. It didn't say not to have them. So I'm just going to add them because it makes it look neater. I don't want a legend, so I need to remove that legend from down here. That's the legend down here. So from the plus sign over here, we're going to remove the tick for legend. There you go. That gives us more chart space. And then finally, I want to move this orange slice away from the rest of the pie chart to further enhance it. So I'm going to click on it one time, and I want to make sure. So when I click on that now and drag it away, can you see that slice only has moved away? If you select all the slices and you pull away and it pulls all those sectors away, then you need to undo and just select the orange one. So this is what's enhancing this to make it stand out a bit more. Place the chart to the left of the bullets on the slide with the title Optimize Your Diet. Make sure that no words are split, all data and labels are fully visible, the chart and its contents do not overlap any slide items. So I'm just going to click on the chart here to make sure it's selected. Use Control-C on my keyboard. Go back to the PowerPoint. Find the PowerPoint which says Optimize Your Diet. Here it is here, number 4. Let's just zoom that in. It's easier to see. And I want to place my chart to the left of the bullet. So I'm just going to squish the bullets up over here. Give it a bit more space. We don't want that. We don't want the text overlapping that line. So we're going to use the maximum space we have. And we're just going to paste our chart in here. Now we want to make the chart big enough to make sure that everything on there is visible, everything that we were asked to do. Now, if these guidelines is outside of the slide or the printable area, that's fine. Even if your lines here go over the text, that is fine, because when I click away, can you see it's not overlapping? And when I print this, it's not going to have any lines going over the text. So that's absolutely fine. You can stretch to make your chart bigger, to make sure it's nice and visible. That object overlaps there, but it's not interrupting anything. So I'm just going to, undo. I'm just going to drag that over a little bit to the left so I can center it. And that looks like a nice slide. Let's just stretch that out a bit more. So I'm just now fiddling around with this just so I can have a nice boxy effect. Make it look nice and neat. I like that. Okay, so the height of my chart and the height of my text box there is the same. That gives it a nice box effect, and that's perfect. No words are split. Everything fits on the slide. This is to the left, and everything is fully visible. That's a nice slide. Let's just do a save. And now it says 31. Add the following text as speaker notes to the slide with the title Optimize Your Diet. Okay, so we want this text here. Now I'm going to copy this. You're going to have to type this out. But when you do type it out, make sure you type everything correctly. Make sure the spelling is correct, all capital letters, absolutely everything is exactly the same. So let's go back and find Optimize Your Diet. It's this slide here with our chart. And if we look down at the bottom, it says here, click to add notes. So I can click in here and paste. There it is. I've added my speaker notes. If I undo that, I can also do this from the view section. I can go to the notes page and I can see the notes here. I can just paste my notes in there. It's exactly the same. Okay, so now I can go back to my normal view and you can see the notes down here. If I just stretch this up a bit, there you go. Here is the notes for this particular slide. Print only this slide as presenter speaker notes in portrait orientation. Okay, now in PowerPoint, we don't really have margins and orientations and this, that, the other, but we have different modes of printing. Let me show you what I mean. So first of all, we select this slide. We go to File, we're going to go to Print, and then you need to become familiar with the options for printing. Now, guys, printing is the most important thing. If you don't print the work they tell you to print the way they want it, then at the end of the day, you're not going to get any marks because this is all that they see. So what we want is we only want to print the current slide. We want, instead of full page slides, we want notes page. And this is the presenter notes. And you can see here that this now is going to print portrait automatically. It's slide 4. And here you can see the presenter notes. You would choose your appropriate printer and then you would print. And that's it. That's your first printout for the presentation component. 32, on the slide with optimize your diet. Now that's the same slide with the chart. Format the text critical fuel source. So critical fuel source, so that when clicked, it links to the slide with the title Good Sources of Carbohydrates. Place in your evidence document a screenshot to show the text linked to the correct slide. Okay, so critical fuel source. Here it is. Critical fuel source. So we need to select that text because it said critical fuel source. Exactly what they tell us to make a link. That's exactly what you have to select. Now we basically need to create a hyperlink. The easiest way, on your selection, right click. You can, I think, also from the home, or is it insert? Let's go have a look. Insert, there you go. You got the link here as well, so you can click on the hyperlink here. It really doesn't matter. I like using the right mouse button because it's just really handy. So from here, I can click on link. It will open this dialog box. Now, if I wanted to link to an email address and an automated subject, I will put the email address and the subject there. But I want to link to a page in this document. So this one. And here I can see the slides that I have available. Can you see number 6 has got brackets around it? That basically means that is a hidden slide. And that's the slide they want us to link to, the one that essentially says good sources of carbohydrates. I'm going to select that one. Okay, if I click on OK, there's my hyperlink. Perfect. Now I need to take the screenshot. Notice I created the link and now I'm going to go back and right click to edit the link because that up here says edit hyperlink. I'm going to place this here like so, and my screenshot is going to be this one. And that shows, in fact, why don't I take all of that from here like that. So what is this screenshot showing? I'm on the right slide, the optimize your diet. Here is the text which is linked, the optimize the critical fuel source. And here is the evidence. I've got slide, so no, that's a bad one. Can you see slide 6 isn't showing there? So this is why we have to, there we go. I'm just going to move that up. Good. And can you see that by checking your slides and talking to yourselves like I do, it's going to help you identify mistakes. Now I could edit this out and just say, look, I'm perfect, I do it right. But no, I want you to see the mistakes. So from here, again, I'm going to create my snip. I'm going to select all of this. There you go. So let's just check. Here is my slide with the title. Here is the text that we've made clickable. Here is the link, which is going, there we go. It's selected, number 6. And they can see the preview there. And they can see it's a place in this document. Okay. So that is a perfect screenshot. Let's go add that in our evidence document, number 32. And that should be fine. I'm just going to delete all the blank pages there. Perfect. Control S to save. So I've done my screenshot. Let's click on OK. Go back to the question paper. Okay, save the presentation, control the printing so the hidden slide does not print. Print slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 only as handouts in portrait orientation with 2 slides to the page, each filling half the page. Okay, they've actually just given you exactly what you have to do here because they're giving you the commas. So from here, we're going to go to File, Print. We don't want the current slide. We want all the slides, print all slides. Okay, we don't want notes page. We want 2 slides to a page. That will make it portrait. Each slide taking half the page, but this is going to print slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, we don't want number 6. So what we're going to do over here underneath where it says print all slides, we're going to type, we want slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't want 6, 7. Okay, and now what I could do is simply click on, if I click over here, I can have the preview and I can see I've now got slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Okay, so that's basically what we have to do. That's going to print 3 pages, 2 slides to a page, each slide taking half of a portrait page, and it's only printing 1, 2, 3, 5, and 4, 5, and 7. Perfect. So again, you will choose your appropriate printer and print that off.
If you're a first or